Katie, can you hear me? Hello. Let's see. All right, I'm letting everybody in. I think I'm letting everybody in. Hi, Joan. I think I just let you in. Carlene, I'm letting you in. The waiting room slows it down a little bit, guys. But we have to use it for, you know, safety. And I'm letting in Donna. Michelle, were you expecting anybody else? Oh, you are muted, Michelle. Hang on. Let me see if I can.
Hello, ladies.
Hey, Donna. Hi, Katie.
Guys, you're going to have to unmute yourselves so that we can hear you.
Yeah, if you want to talk.
Okay. Can you hear me?
I can hear you, Donna. Is that Donna?
Yes, it is, Davia.
Hey, Donna. Good afternoon. I almost said good morning. Yes, I don't think anybody else is in the waiting room. I think that's everybody.
Okay. Yeah, we'll get started. I think a few people have on. So I'm so happy that everybody can join us today. This is a new series. It's a lunch and learn. So many of us are working from home now and maybe in rooms with no windows, but you know what? We just need to move our bodies. We need to move our minds and just really get some good depth during the day from everything that we're doing. So I'm Michelle Hamilton. I'm hosting this series of Lunch and Learns, and it's really my goal to build a really strong community that shares a vision for better health, for education, and for everybody to understand the options to help you take charge of your health and to really hone in on your well-being. And if you weren't already at that stage, I'm sure this pandemic or this epidemic or whatever you want to call it has really put this as a forefront in your mind. So I hope that this information is extremely valuable to you. We'll have more content week by week. But today we have the distinct pleasure of having our guest speaker is Dr. Davia Shepherd. And she is a physician that I work closely with. I'm a nutrimetrics consultant, which means that I get to work with dynamic, outstanding professionals that share my vision with me and through our nutrimetrics program. And Davia is a physician. She's an intuitive optimal life coach. She's a national speaker, an author, a retreat leader, and a recovering researcher celebrating almost 2 decades of experience working in various areas of healthcare. And her focus, especially in this time, is to connect us and each other with our true inner amazing selves so that we may live the lives that we have the potential for. And that is longer, healthier, and happier in every aspect. And we share a vision. So I hope that this vision is contagious and that you enjoy this session today about the happiness prescription. So Dr. Shepherd, thank you so much for joining us.
Hi, guys. So a couple of you, I can't see you. Katie, I can't see you. Joan, I can't see you. Carlene, I can't see you. Is it okay for you to turn your camera on or no?
I know some people have had video
there you
problems.
are.
Yeah, but some
I'm trying to turn it on here.
Okay, I miss you, Joan. It's been so long.
I know, it has been. Nice to see you.
Yay, I can't see you, but I'm looking forward to it.
I'm going to try and figure this out.
Okay, take your time. So, guys, hey, Katie, hugs. So nice to see all of you, really, really, truly, especially in this time. Oh, there's the babies. Oh, the sweeties. Yeah, I mean, who would have thought, right? Remember all those people who've been talking to us about the zombie apocalypse? They're probably like saying and doing the I told you so dance right about now. Because remember before when hoarding toilet paper wasn't a thing? Remember before when we weren't dipping into the quarantine snacks? Remember before when people could actually get hand sanitizer in the store? This is a different time that we're living in right now. But I would like to invite you to really embrace. Hi, Joan. I would
Hello.
like to really invite you to embrace, and I don't want you to get me wrong. I mean, I know we're not trying to put a happy face sticker on a terrible situation, but I want you to really embrace that it is possible to maintain your inner peace, your inner joy, and your inner happiness, even when the things that are going on around you don't look all that great. I'm going to tell you guys a story. Some of you might know this from before. Katie, I'm sure we've talked about this when, you've been in office and that sort of thing. But back in the day when I had my first baby, and he's 10 now, so this is a while ago, I feel like I went through my own very personal hell, different from what's going on now, but really bad situation that I made my way through. I just want to share this with you to kind of give you the whole reason why I feel so strongly about this happiness prescription, as we're calling it. So I was out of school, I was excited, I got a chance to be a part of this practice that I'm a part of right now. I was offered the opportunity to be a partner in the practice. Of course, that meant basically taking over the day-to-day running of the practice. But anyway, that's another story
Davia,
for
check the
another day.
waiting room. I think somebody's in the
Is
waiting
there
room.
somebody in the waiting room? Let's see. I don't know.
Okay, sorry to interrupt.
Oh yes,
Continue on.
somebody is there.
Okay.
It's Emily. She's coming in. She'll be there. She is. Hey, Emily. So anyway, if any of you have ever run a business, and I know quite a few of you have, you know that it's not just peaches and cream. It's real work every day. And there I was, doing my thing, and then I was expecting, and I had a beautiful baby boy, and he was awesome. Love him so much, and he wouldn't sleep. For 18 months of his life, he didn't sleep, not even one night straight through the night. So I'd get up in the morning, I would get him ready and do all the mommy things, drop him off at grandma, go to work a full day. And for those of you who've ever seen me in office, you know that I work a full day. I would leave work, pick him up, head home, and every 2 hours, his little baby behind would be awake. Every 2 hours. I swear to God. I didn't sleep a full night right through. I couldn't figure out why I wasn't losing the baby weight. And you guys probably were seeing me around and thinking, what's up with her? Couldn't lose the baby weight. It was going nowhere. And I was thinking to myself, this is really weird because I was nursing my babies and, the baby weight was just going nowhere. So I had this brilliant idea. Why don't I go on a diet? By the way, I'm 100% against diets. 2, why don't I start training for the Hartford Marathon? I'll definitely lose the weight now. So I did all that. And so I'm eating less. I am exercising way more. And Hartford Marathon was tons of fun. I made lots of friends. We started a run team in our practice. It was great. But right after the marathon, my body crashed. And I went to 4 different doctors. Nobody could figure out what was going on. I couldn't even walk. I was on crutches in the office treating patients. And finally, one day, a patient said to me, "Doc, you need to go take care of yourself," because I, I just wasn't doing well at all health wise. It was not great, and so went to another surgeon who did an operation that was completely unnecessary. Now looking back, and that really even caused more problems than it was worth, and still no improvement. The good news is that, guess what, guys? I was just overtired, overstressed. I wasn't eating right. I was doing all the things that I tell my patients not to do. But something good came of all of this, because in going through this difficult time, and it was a very difficult time for me. I mean, I had to close my office, and any of you who are entrepreneurs, you know, you don't work, you don't get paid. And I had staff. So me not working, that was like an additional stressor in addition to my health situation. So not a great situation, not looking good. But the one thing that got me through all of this, guys, was the happiness prescription. And that's when that was born. And so that's why I wanted to share that with you guys today. I just wanted to, take a minute to say to you that, yes, I know this is a tough time, but one, let's look for the silver linings. And two, let's make sure that during this time, we're doing all the things that we can do to support our bodies. So I'm gonna see if I can share my screen. Michelle likes when I use slides, so let's do this. Let's go from the beginning. There we are. Can you guys see my screen?
Mm-hmm.
Yes?
Yep.
Okay, great. So, this is the happiness prescription for troubled times, but I've got to tell you, it's the same thing that I have been doing since my baby was 2 years old when I got sick. And it's this thing that's been keeping me going. And it keeps me going even now when things aren't looking so great. So the first thing that I would say is that I invite you to really take stock of what it is that you believe. Because if you are really, really very firm in your belief system, if you really, really know what you stand for and what you expect, then in a way, you're unshakable. A mentor of mine says that a belief is just a thought that you keep thinking. And what do you really think? What do you think about what's going on right now? What do you think about what's happening in your life in addition to the troubled times that we're living in? And do you believe that your thoughts have any bearing on what's actually happening? Do you believe that what you focus on is what shows up in your existence? Do you believe that what you're putting out energetically is what you get back? And do you believe that just because the circumstances look a certain way, that you have to feel a certain way? And that was, for me, that was like an aha moment for me. That was when a switch went off in my mind. Like, oh, guess what? Just because the picture doesn't look exactly the way I want it to look, that doesn't mean that I have to feel badly about it. Does that make sense for you?
Yes.
Yeah? That makes tons of sense for me. And, it's easy to get up and say, okay, think happy thoughts, be positively focused, sound like, somebody who's really out of touch with reality. But one thing I can truly say is that you can do pretty much anything as long as you practice it. The very first time that I did a plank, I can tell you, I felt like I was gonna die. And the more I am able to practice, I can hold a plank for 2 minutes, guys. What? There was a time when I didn't think I was going to be able to do that. Yoga poses that I used to look at people and think, oh my gosh, they must be like the most amazing yogis. Now I'm like, okay, I can do that. That's no big deal. So I'm going to invite you guys, if it's possible, can you close your eyes? I can see you, close them. And just take a minute to think about something about which you are grateful, something that you are absolutely drop to your knees grateful for, something that just fills you with happiness and joy. For me, it's my babies. Everybody knows this about me. I love these little children so much, and just they're not here right now, but just thinking about them, I get all warm and fuzzy inside. And now open your eyes. Did you feel it? Did you feel that warm feeling? Did you really get that feeling about the thing that you're grateful about? And it might not have been right there in the room with you, just like my babies aren't in the room here with me, but I can feel the feeling of the joy of it. So what that tells me is that what I'm looking at doesn't have to be the source of what I am feeling. And that if I practice that feeling of joy, if I practice what that emotion feels like, then every day it gets better and better. And one of really the women that I look up to and consider to be somebody to aspire to, Dr. Maya Angelou, she says, hope and fear cannot occupy the same space. Invite one to stay. So what are you going to invite? Are you going to invite the hope, or are you going to invite the fear? You know, which one is it going to be? And in practicing, I have found that having a routine is the key. We are all and may always be a work in progress, but every day we still have to try. That's what I think. And so it doesn't mean, and I keep telling you and everybody that I speak to, you know, I am such a work in progress, but every day I try to be better. And on the days when it's not going great, I don't beat myself up, not even one bit, because that's just a waste of time. So I like to have a morning routine. There's a little space in the day right when you realize you're awake, but before you start running through your to-do lists in your head. You know, that little space, it's like, oh, it's like a feeling of joy and peace that is very quickly overcome by all the things that we have to do with our day. I like to catch myself in that phase. I like to try to catch myself there every morning. And before I start going off on all my mental tangents, what I like to do is I like to start to think about the things that I'm grateful for and just run through them in my mind and be thankful for them and say little, well, I say prayers. You can do, you know, whatever it is that works for you, but I like to start my day that way. And then I might thank the powers that be for the fact that my plumbing still works as I run off to the bathroom to do the things that I have to do. And once I'm done doing that, then I do a little bit of yoga, because you got to keep the body moving. And then I do some meditation, I do a little bit of journaling, and I can tell you something. This sounds like I'm doing a whole lot of stuff, but usually that only takes me anywhere from half an hour to 40 minutes of my day. And what that means for me is that I might have to wake up a little bit earlier because my kids are very early risers. I don't know, you guys have kids. Katie, I know you know what I'm talking about. These kids, will they sleep? No. So I get up a little bit earlier, and there's something called the law of sacrifice. You know, you have to give up something of lower energy to get something of a higher energy to take its place. And so I give up a little bit of sleep every morning so that I can have my morning routine and ground myself in that solid happiness before the world hits me, because it's sort of like a cushion. If I have a day when I miss my morning routine, what I find is that I'm not as solid as I could be when the events of the day take place. Anybody here understand what I'm talking about? Yep. I get out of my morning routine, I get ready, and I head down to get my kids breakfast and get them organized. And that's when I get into my daily routine. And my daily routine, it's pretty simple. All I do is I look at each segment of my day and I prepare myself for the segment. So I'm going down to screaming children, and I know they might be children. And so I prepare myself. How do I want to feel in this moment? I want to feel patience. Definitely want to feel patience. For I don't want to put my shoes on. Like, have you never worn shoes before? Is this a new thing for you? I want to have peace. I want to have joy. And I also want to have fun because I don't know about you guys, but my kids are tons of fun. And I want to be able to be in that moment so that I can enjoy them because they're not going to be this little for much longer. They're growing so fast. And I try to do that for every moment of every day. As I get into my car, how do I want to feel? I want to feel secure as I'm driving along on the road. How do I want to feel as I'm going in to treat my patients? I want to feel knowledgeable. I want to feel flow. I want to feel as though the answers are coming to me for the questions that my patients might have. And as I get back into my car and at the end of the day and I'm going home, I'm also preparing myself for how I want to feel. How do I want to feel when I'm going to my bed? I want to feel gratitude for the day that has gone on. And so it's really a job, guys. It's really a job to really monitor what's going on in here. But what I can tell you is that it's 100% worth it. Now, you're probably saying to yourself, okay, so you're a doctor. Why are you talking about all this happiness stuff? But remember, I've been through my own tough times too. So I know that the health piece and the happiness piece, they are not inextricably linked at all. They're not, you can't pull them apart. I think I said that the wrong way, but you get what I mean. So while you're taking care of your happiness routine, you also have to take care of your health as well. Anybody here ever been hangry? I'm sure we all have. You have to definitely pay attention to how often you're eating. You have to pay attention to what you're eating, and you have to pay attention to other aspects of your health and wellness as well. So I'm going to be your mom, and I'm going to tell you, eat your veggies. I've been to the supermarket. I've noticed there is no toilet paper. There's no ice cream left. Everybody's eating all of those, but you can find vegetables in every single supermarket that you go into right now. They are not scarce, okay? Two, I would say don't skip meals. We're in quarantine right now, and a lot of us are really plugging in and doing a lot of the work that we probably put on the back burner beforehand. So we might be really getting to our at-home projects. We might be working on the computer, doing a lot of our computer work that may have been backlogged. We might be out in the garden doing the gardening that may have fallen behind. But stay on schedule. Do not skip your meals, because when you skip meals, what happens? You end up having a fall in your blood sugar, and that really does nothing at all to increase your happiness level. Your body, no matter how much meditation you do, it's going to be difficult for you to buck your body's chemistry. Is that fair? I think that's fair. I'm going to go so far as to tell you that during this time, one of the number one things that you can be doing is supporting your immune system. Isn't that the truth? Because I have a patient who got diagnosed with the virus, and she is also a cancer patient, and they just sent her home and told her to go into isolation because what are they going to do? She was breathing okay. They didn't have to put her on a ventilator. I spoke to her yesterday and I said to her, look, here's the deal. Keep taking your multivitamin. Make sure that you're taking vitamin D, because that really does a good job of supporting your immune system. Make sure that you're taking your vitamin C and some zinc. And there is a multi-mineral formula that has both of those. So that was something that I could talk to her about. I encouraged her to take an antioxidant. I encouraged her to take a probiotic. And because she was feeling so, overwrought about what was going on, I also mentioned to her a herbal supplement called ashwagandha, which I have been able to find in a supplement called Bliss, and there's another supplement called Axe that has it. You'll be able to find it out there. It is definitely available and easily available too. Hydration. For some of our patients, drinking water is just very difficult. I would say to you, 1/2 ounce per pound of body weight. Make sure you're doing it every day, especially now. Your body cannot purge toxins unless you are removing them, and you have to use water in order to do that. Plus, you need water for about 90% of the reactions that are happening in your body to actually take place. So without water, it's not going to happen. Again, you could say 100,000 affirmations, but without water, without hydration, it's not going to happen for you. Make sure you're getting sleep. Can I just tell you about the importance of sleep? I almost went 2 years without it. It's not a good thing. Make sure you're getting exercise. So remember all those times when we said, oh, I don't have enough time to exercise. Guess what, guys? We've got the time now. And go for, do things that you like to do. I'm not sending you to go do things that are not going to be meaningful for you. Go for a walk. I have my kids ride their bikes and I run behind them. Whatever it is that is going to be meaningful for you, we know for sure that walking in nature is actually beneficial, not just for exercising your body, but it does a number on your mind as well. They've done studies and they've seen that it actually changes your brain chemistry. So if you can go outside for a walk in a socially distant way, I definitely recommend that. Make sure you're taking your brain breaks. Fit meditation into your day somewhere. I like to do it in the morning because it kind of prepares me for the day. But if you find that another time of day is better for you, the best time of day to meditate is the time that you can find. Avoid negative people, places, and things. I'm not saying don't be informed. I'm saying don't inundate yourself. My husband, he's the kind of person who he will watch all the different news channels to see what's going on. Then he will watch it on his phone. Then he'll go online and he'll watch it again. That's a bit too much, right? And when you keep putting, remember we talked about this at the top, what you're putting out there as your energy is really what shows up in your life. And so you want to make sure that you're feeding yourself good things. And of course, I know that there are those of us who struggle with clinical depression. And for those people, I suggest doing all of these things. And in addition to that, getting professional help. And I can say for sure, I know that a lot of the therapists that are part of my circle, they're offering patients virtual visits right now. And the last piece is community, guys. This is not the time, just because we are socially distant, for us to be staying away from the people who are really close to us. Make sure that even if it's waving to each other from across the way and having a conversation across from driveway to driveway, which is how I'm communicating with my neighbors right now, if it even means driving over to your in-laws and talking to them through the door, if it even means, getting online and doing Zoom calls or FaceTime or whatever it is, make sure that during this time, especially for those of us who don't necessarily live with family, this can be a really, really trying time. Make sure that you're building space into your day every day for you to have quality conversations. And I just, loaded this up and I was looking at all of the different social media things that are out there. We have technology now that if this had happened some time ago, we wouldn't have this technology. Now we can communicate with each other in like 100 different ways. So use the technology that you have available to you. So what's next? I'm going to make an offer to you guys, because one thing I know is that I can come here and I can talk until I'm blue in the face. And I go to so many workshops and so many conferences and I get so much great information. And then I come back and I cannot promise you that I implement every single one of those things. That's just the truth. I don't. So I'm giving you an opportunity for 100% free to join me for the happiness prescription. And basically what that is, it's just going to be a one-on-one call where we can talk about your personal health and wellness goals, and then a week of emails. And what's in those emails? It's basically lessons about how to implement the happiness prescription. So how to incorporate fun into your day, how to make sure that you are doing your morning routine, what to do when things don't go exactly as you expect. And in addition to all of that, I'm also offering the opportunity for us to get together, to be a collective, to actually take advantage of step number 5, which is community. And I invite you to join my happiness community on Facebook. And that's an opportunity for us to keep this conversation going every single day. What's working for you? What's not working for you? What's been really, really great? What's been really, really difficult? How are the steps going? All of that sort of thing. So the link is right here at the bottom of your screen, and I'll drop it in the chat as well. And if you would like to, I 100% invite you to come be a part of this wonderful little community that we're putting together, that we're calling the Happiness Prescription. And that's all my contact information. And let me just see if I can go ahead and unshare my screen. There we are. And thanks so much for giving me the chance to share this with you. Any questions or concerns, disparaging remarks?
No disparaging remarks. It was wonderful.
Yeah, thank you.
So one of my big takeaways was the law of sacrifice, giving up some low energy to accept some high energy into your life. That's a really good perspective for
Yeah.
me. So, and I'm sure I can find some low energy sequence things in my life that I can replace. So I thought that
I
was
tell you
great.
something, like I learned that from one of my mentors. Her name is Darla Ledoux. And, you know, for me, sleep is great. You know, I have a different relationship with sleep than you all probably do at this time. But I have to tell you, giving up 30 minutes of sleep for me every day is gonna just mean that I go to my bed a half an hour earlier. It means that I give up that lower energy of watching unnecessary things on TV and actually going to bed so that I can wake up a little bit earlier and get my day started.
Yeah.
That's what that means for me.
Yeah. The second takeaway was you can actually, as you say, prepare yourself for how you want to feel in certain situations. Like that is a conscious decision that will impact probably the outcome of every situation you have, where you may in your mind think you're walking away. You could prepare yourself like, oh, I've met with this person before and it doesn't work out. Just wow, Davia, that is just, you know, the power of the mind. And preparing yourself in that way is a phenomenal tip. I love that. And being
That has
conscious of shifting your mindset.
It is. That has been a big, big game changer for me. Big game changer. Because, you know, like you said, sometimes you're walking into, for example, walking into a room, you looked at the x-rays or the MRIs and you're feeling like, boy, this is not a great situation. And you're already bringing your negative energy into that room if you're
Yeah.
looking at things that way. And so I've completely changed the way I'm doing that. And I'm looking at it and I'm saying, okay, this looks this way. But just because it looks this way doesn't mean that this is the outcome that we have to have. So we're going to go in and we're going to talk about it, but we're going to talk about it in a more positive way. And just reframing it that way makes a difference, certainly for me, but it makes a difference for my patients as well. So in a way, I feel as though in changing my outlook, I feel like I'm also changing the outlook of my patients.
Yeah.
Ripple effect.
Excellent. That's a win-win-win.
Yeah.
I liked the piece about not pouring from an empty cup.
Moms like to do that. Moms love to do that.
And I sat the other day and just told them to go find something to do, and I did my nails.
Yeah.
Oh, yay.
And I don't know, between, you know, the 3 kids and their 3 different online curriculums, and then I'm still teaching my students full time. You know, and then I run my own small business, and Chris is still working. You know, so he's out of the house before 6 and comes home between 5 and 5:30. He walks in the door and I'm like, see ya. Like, it's just a lot.
It's tag team.
It is. Katie,
Yeah.
I wanna really take my hat off to you, because I know a lot of us who are, you know, during this time, we don't realize that the teachers have their whole life plus all our kids to teach as well.
This morning, my entire team plus my administrators saw Bodie and his naked tushy run across the living room, and then the Play-Doh actually went flying. It was a really good birth control for some of my colleagues who think that this is peaceful, and they're like, why weren't you on time? I'm like, this is why.
Yeah. It's
and
real.
also, don't beat yourself up about anything. Never, ever, ever.
On nice days is easier, I find, like when the weather is nice outside.
Yes.
Like Monday at like 1 o'clock, I was like, I'm done. I'll go back to my computer later. I just took them outside, and, you know, we spent the rest of the day outside. But
oh yeah, that's great.
You know, it's hard to manage it all, but trying. I agree with you though about the morning routine. The days that I get up and I shower and I feel put together, I'm in a much better mindset versus the days where I decide to sleep in and then I just don't have myself together. So then it's just like a negative cycle.
Yeah, right. If you can really get into a habit of having that morning routine, I find it's not that the things don't happen during the day. It's just like it provides a little buffer for the things that happen, and so it hits you differently. That has been my experience.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Excellent job.
Yeah,
great to be on. Definitely great information. You know, as we're all being on these Zooms training, I have lost my seat to my computer because my cat has taken my seat, so I have to get another seat to pull in here. I guess she's getting used to me sitting in front of the computer, so she figures she's going to take over my seat just to say something. But this is an enlightenment, what you talked about, for all of us, because we're all going through a lot, and that positive thinking is so critically very important. So thank you for that.
You know, and some of these things that we've been adapting to a new lifestyle, but I think we're picking up things that we can continue forward, even though being quarantined is really tough. But I got back to having dinner with my family every night. Oh my God, invaluable for me, absolutely invaluable to me. And that's something that I'm going to keep in my routine, because that brings me so much joy and so much happiness, and we all get caught up, right? And just some of the other little things, like, I don't need as many clothes as I have, you guys. I realize I got room in my closet, and I made a goal of trying to get rid of up to 60% of what's in my closet.
Wow.
Because somebody else needs it. And that's just where my mind has opened up to. Like, we've been collecting and rushing and not taking care of ourselves for all these extraneous reasons. And this just honed me back in so tightly. And so I started reevaluating, like, these things that we're forced to do and how valuable they are to me. And I want to continue and bring them forward in my life after this, which who knows where it would be. I'm not so sure. I don't like quarantine. I've actually enjoyed it. I've enjoyed adapting to some new things and learning technology better than I had to learn it before. There's growth in my business anyway, right? There's always a way for us to connect. And the thing that the community part that Davia talked about, you cannot ever do anything that stops building a bond between people. You can't. And being quarantined hasn't broken our bond. We found a way to break through it. Maybe it's a Zoom meeting. Maybe it's standing 6 feet apart from somebody else, but we're still finding ways to connect. And these are all the messages, you know, my vision for health in the world, it's just not having a healthy heart. It's having a healthy mind, having a healthy body. And so this type of community has always been my vision. So we all need to share it. We need to share what we learn. We need to broaden that happiness community and share this with people, give people access to the knowledge of where they can find wellness, what their options are. That's why I'm so dedicated to the platform with Nutrimetrics. We have such invaluable services that we provide to practitioners who now are learning something new, and we have a platform to do it. So this whole concept of building a community, we are about humans wanting to live well for the rest of our lives and forever, not just because we're in a significant lockdown right now. It's forever.
Nope.
So Dr. Shepard, I can't thank you enough.
It's so weird.
You have been on.
Shepard, can I share one more thing when you're done, Michelle? I wanted to share a little bit of happiness. I loved how you touched on to go drive into somebody's driveway and say hello away from the door. My father's senior center today brought the Easter Bunny here, you guys. He was so happy. So happy. It was like, because, you know, they're excluded, just me and him here. And it was just like amazing for him. And I think we should go do things like that. Just getting out there, right? Making people
I got bunny ears, Emily.
Right?
I can tell you something, Emily. You'll find this interesting too. So I've been working out of this office for 10 years now, and there's a house beside our office building, and I have walked by to my car and back for 10 years, and I have never spoken to the people who live over there. Not even one time. Guess when I had a conversation with them? Yesterday. 6 feet apart. But we had a conversation, right?
That's right. It's beautiful.
Why? Because I had time. I wasn't rushing, and I came and I saw the neighbor and we said hi to each other and had a conversation. If it was any other time and my schedule was super packed, I would have just been rushing to go pick up my kids or rushing to do something else. And that beautiful interaction that I had yesterday, priceless. There's no way to put a price on that. 10 years.
Wow. Great.
We're all getting to relax at this point and just experience a different life.
It's a reset. It's a reset. It really is. It's a really invaluable time for a lot of us. So it is 12:44. I don't want to, we're going over our time a little bit. I'm enjoying it. If you have any questions, you can stay on the line. Like I had mentioned in the chat, everything that we talked about, we're going to share the links on our Facebook invite. I know Dr. Shepard dropped a couple links in the chat. So grab those. Let's stay connected, and let's make this community bigger, because we all know why we stepped on today to this meeting. So let's keep that message going out into the community, and let's keep everybody connected to their wellness, to their happiness, and to their inner selves. So important for everything. So great to be with you all this afternoon. Have a happy day. Share a tip with somebody today about what you learned. Carlene, enjoy walking your cats today. And we'll see you all soon. I'll be announcing the next Lunch and Learn for the upcoming week. And we'll see you again, okay?
Great. Thank you.
Thank
you, Doctor.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Bye, everyone.